Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Curt Mallory's Week 4 press conference. Indiana State coming off a bye week after playing 19 Liberty on the road, coming up short 42-41. Indiana State is preparing for a top 10 matchup with Illinois State this weekend in Normal, Illinois. Coach, we'll begin with the opening statement. Talk about just what you guys do to utilize that bye week and now getting prepared for life in the Missouri Valley Conference against a top 10 team.
Sure, non-conference, we'd like the outcome to be better, not to be 0-3, but proud of the progress that our football team's made. Came up short against Liberty, a very good football team. Had opportunities throughout the game to make some plays. Didn't go the way we'd like it, but it wasn't because of the effort that our football team gave. Competed all the way through, and we're going to see some wins here. They're coming soon.
You mentioned just the difficulty in the schedule early on this season, and you knew that you were going to play a lot of quality teams. When you think back to that Liberty game, and, of course, Bob Pugh with the second-best receiving night in school history, Cade Sparks, of course, was able to throw the ball effectively. What was it about the offense that night that really impressed you in the numbers that they were able to put up against a really quality opponent?
Well, I see it in practice. I see how we come out in practice and the confidence that Cade has when he's out there throwing the football. And they're practicing making plays throughout preparation. And you see that in practice, and you saw it in the game. And they keep coming out and being consistent in what they do, and there was results for it.
You mentioned coming out and being consistent. I think a big part of that is how you treat the guys throughout the week and how you continue to bounce back. Of course, two of the losses this year have literally been by one play at the end of the game. How have your guys responded each and every week when they came out to the bye week last week as you get ready for Illinois State, when they respond after Eastern Illinois? What has their response been like to you when you meet with them and they come off such a grueling loss just from a standpoint of being there right at the end?
Well, this is a team that believes. You see it. You see it in the way they come to work every day, the way they prepare for each game. They believe in one another, and we talk to these young men about believing without evidence, and the evidence being a win. And they come out, they know they're a better football team regardless of the win-loss. And they've come out all last week and in the off week to get better, to get ready for our conference play, which is what we've seen. And we've got a big week ahead of us as we prepare for Illinois State.
You mentioned this week, the next 3 weeks will be against teams right now currently in the top 10 FCS. That's life in the Valley. 7 teams in the Valley are ranked in the top 25. You knew the challenges of this league, why this job really appealed to you. I know you can't really see what other teams are doing specifically right now, but what is it about this league that makes it such a difficult league week in and week out? And even though you're new to this league, to know each and every week it's going to be a dogfight because everybody's got a chance.
Well, there's good programs. There's great coaching, there's great programs, and there's great players. And you see it week in and week out, how our conference fares with the opponents that they play. And that's not just this year. That's been going on for a long, long time. Everybody in the country knows that our conference is the top conference in FCS. And it shows each week in and week out, our win-loss and who we fare when we play FBS teams or when we play other FCS teams.
When you look at Illinois State this weekend, they're a team that's yet to been beaten. They knocked off Missouri State last week in their first conference opener. What stands out about the Redbirds?
Well, they're consistent, both offense and defense and special teams. They're all 3 phases. They're very good. They're well coached. Offensively, they're balanced. They run the ball very well. They throw the ball very well. They control the football, and they play good, sound, aggressive defense. Coach Spack is a defensive-minded guy, and you're going to see that they play really well on defense. And they're good on special teams. All 3 phases, you're going to see Illinois State being extremely good.
What about Coach Spack? To you, you're familiar with him, of course, with his background at Purdue and the Big Ten. What is it about his style and kind of his mindset and how that breeds into his players and why there's such a difficult defense as this year they've only allowed 22 points all year long?
Coach Spack is a no-nonsense coach. I've known Coach Spack for a long, long time. And he's what you see is what you get. He's hard-nosed, he's tough, that's the way he runs his program. And there's a reason why they're consistently good. He was that way when he was a coordinator. Their defense were always the top in the Big Ten. And the one thing you knew about a Brock Spack defense is that they're going to be tough, hard-nosed, and well-coached.
Offensively, even though their strength may be defense at times, with Coach Spack being a defensive-minded coach, I feel sometimes their offense doesn't get necessarily the credit that it deserves. How good is this Illinois State offense, Coach, and what about them makes them such a difficult task to be able to slow down and possibly even stop?
Oh, they're very good up front. They got a great quarterback that controls the football, has great command of the offense. They've got a group of wide receivers led by Schnell, who is their leader right now, who's just a fine football player. They got two really, really good running backs that carry the load, get the ball about equally, but they're both very, very dangerous runners. But they're a top-notch offensive threat that we're going to see. They're a team that does both running and passing, extremely well, and they're the most balanced offense that we've seen so far.
I know at times I think it can be overplayed by guys like me from a media realm, but when you get to this point in the season when it is the conference season, how much is it a breath of fresh air of almost you get to hit a restart button and it is the beginning of a new season?
Well, we knew that we liked the way our schedule was. We had a non-conference schedule that was going to be very challenging. We knew Eastern Illinois coming to Terre Haute would be a great challenge for us. Game could have gone either way. Both teams fought. Went to Tennessee, did some good things, and then obviously went to Liberty. And we'd love to be sitting here 1-2 or 2-1, what have you, but we're not. And we got an off week to regroup, to get better, knowing that we got an 8-week schedule ahead of us, and we're starting off with one of the top teams in our conference.
The key, Coach, to continue the offensive success that you were able to build 2 weeks ago.
Absolutely. That's the way this football team's gone. We felt we've made strides week in and week out. From week 1 to week 2, we've gotten better as a football team in all 3 phases. You're seeing this football team coming together. You're seeing some success on both sides of the football, and we're going to continue to do that as we grow, and we're going to get better each and every week, and we're looking forward to the challenge we have this week.
You brought up believing without evidence.
Mm-hmm.
How difficult of a thing is that to do? Maybe not necessarily for you personally, but to communicate that to your guys, to know and believe that you are a better football team, that you are improving. Yet, like you mentioned, at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want that tangible evidence. Is that a difficult thing to coach or work through for you? And if it's not, how do you make it a little bit easier to explain to your guys the importance of trying to improve without evidence?
Well, you see the way they practice. I mean, they practice making plays. They come to work every day. Not every day is perfect, but you see the effort has been very good, very consistent. And then what you put on film. We show them 20, 30 plays of some really good things and some things we can correct, things that take no talent. We had 3 penalties that I'm not proud of that we've got to compose ourselves better. We've been good on the penalty realm of it, but we gave up 45 yards. Half of our penalties were on things that can be corrected and things that will be corrected. But there's a lot of good things when you watch the film. We watched it again. We brought it back up. Seeing great effort plays, things that we can build on, and our kids believe in it. They believe in one another. They believe in each other. They believe in the system, and you see it on the field.
Coach, appreciate the time, and good luck this weekend against Illinois State.
All right, thank you.